Damn. What's going on, and welcome back. I said that I would keep you updated in case something happened here, something spooky, something out of the ordinary, something paranormal. Well, it has. Not to myself, but to my son last week. And I'll get to that here in a second. But for whatever reason, this ghost or whatever, it likes, messing with my son. Especially, when he's alone, especially when he's in the shower for some reason. I don't know. I told you guys that one time he was taking a shower and he started screaming for me because he got scared because he saw a hand pushing through the curtain and he thought it was me, but it wasn't. And then another time, he was in the shower and this all happened. No, that thing with the hand in the curtain happened one night, and then I don't know. I think it was probably a month or so later, a couple of months, I can't remember, but he was in the shower and I was back here, and he said that he started screaming. He didn't say nothing. He just started, he didn't scream, he started yelling. So I figured something was wrong. I hurried back there and the light was off in the restroom. I thought maybe the light bulb burnt out, but it wasn't the light bulb that burned out. Something or somebody turned the switch off, or turned the light switch off. So I went in there and I flicked it back on. Needless to say, I had to sit in the restroom with him until he got out of the shower, right? Well, little things like that. Sometimes I'll see something out of the corner of my eye. Looks like a kid. My son said he's seen the same thing, but he says it looks like a girl. Well, that night that the light turned on him, I was sitting in here. This was later on in the evening. I was sitting in here. I think I was watching videos or playing a game. I can't remember. And I always hear, when you watch paranormal videos or ghost hunters and stuff like that, when they say they got touched. Well, I've never experienced anything like that until that night. That was the weirdest thing. I was sitting here watching videos, and it felt like somebody rubbed their hand up against my back, and I was like, what the hell was that? It freaked me out. What was freaky about it was after it happened, I could still feel the pressure of the hand rubbing down my back. That was weird. That's the first time I ever got touched. I didn't get all emotional or anything like that, but yeah, it was kind of strange. So last week, it was last Wednesday. Before I get to that, we do have a little pug. She's small. She's probably about this big and probably about this tall. She's small for a pug, I don't think she's going to get any bigger. I think somebody told me that she may be a miniature pug. If that's a thing, I'm not too sure. But, yeah. She never barks. Even when people show up to the house, she'll never bark. She's really playful. She likes to play or whatever. But I never heard her bark until, my son starts messing with her. Picking on her and playing with her. And then she'll bark at him. Other than that, she's a pretty chill dog. She just likes to play. She doesn't really bark for anything. Well, it was last Wednesday night, around 11:30. We were going to bed. I turned all the lights off here in the house, and she sleeps with us. So she got on the bed and she was sleeping in between us. And I was fixing to fall asleep when she got up and she started looking down the hallway. And she jumped off the bed, ran down the hall into the living room, and she started barking and barking and barking. And I kind of just stood up in bed, and I was just looking down the hallway. Couldn't see nothing. It was just darkness. I was just looking down the hallway, and then I hear her running back as fast as she can. She jumped on the bed and got under the covers. Well, the next day, I went to work. My son stayed home. I woke him up around 9 o'clock in the morning because he had to do his virtual classes. And I went back to work. And then probably around, it was fixing to be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I get a phone call from my son. He says that he was in the back room laying down in bed watching videos on his phone. when our dog jumped off the bed, ran down the hallway into the living room, and she started barking again. This time he got up to go see what was wrong with her because, it's daytime, there's nothing scary during the day. Well, so we thought. So he came in here and to see what she was barking at. She was standing right outside this door right here, barking. My son walked into the kitchen and he was looking at her. And when he looked up towards this doorway right here, he says that he saw a little girl, probably like around the age of, I don't know, 8 or 9, standing at the doorway in this room, looking out, just standing there, no expression on her face, just standing there, staring at him. When he saw her, the dog looked up and she saw the little girl as well. They both freaked out and took off running to my bedroom. And they hid under the covers. That's when I got the phone call. And he told me if I could come home because he couldn't believe. He said this was the scariest thing that he has ever seen, ever. Never in his life, he said, have I ever seen, he goes, maybe out of the corner of my eye, but this time I looked up and there was this girl just standing there staring at me. Freaked him out. Oh God, man, my hair on my arms are rising up. It freaked him out. I couldn't leave work. I felt bad. I could not leave work. So my friend Stetson, his girlfriend, came and picked up my son and took him to her house because he was scared. So I went and picked him up afterwards when we came home. Whatever. The very next day, same thing. I went to work. I left him here. I got him up at 9 and he started doing his virtual classes or whatever. And like around 10 o'clock, he gave me a phone call and told me and asked me if I can come home early because he said, things are happening here again. He goes, I'm starting to hear things in the kitchen. I'm starting to hear things in the living room. I'm starting to hear things in the back room. It's freaking me out. Can you please come home? They let me come home like it was around 12:30. I came home. And after that, I didn't hear anything. I was home the whole afternoon, and I really didn't hear nothing at all. I asked them, why doesn't anything like that ever happen to me, when I'm here by myself? When I'm by myself here, it's very rare, very, very rare that I see things. I really don't really see things in here, but it's very rare that I hear things. Maybe every once in a while, but not really, Damn. Playing online games. Anyway, he tells me that maybe because you're the adult and it knows that you're not scared and it knows that I am scared, and it's true. Maybe that could be a part of it. I'm not scared. I'm so used to this. And maybe if I saw something, I would probably like really freak out. Not to where I take off running, but I'd probably be like in shock to actually like finally see something, but I wouldn't be like screaming start crying, nothing like that. But yeah, my son, he's pretty brave, to see something. He did take off running, but he's only 12. But yeah, I was thinking about this too that day. I was like, maybe I should, or would it be safe to do a investigation here in my own house? Would it be okay to do that? So I started looking stuff up, just get opinions. I want to know your opinion. Do you think it's safe here? Because I'm going to tell you what I read, and I kind of agree with what I read, and that's from like professional paranormal researchers. They say no. Don't ever you don't want to investigate in your own home. The reason for that is because something's there. It's there. You're aware of it, and it's probably aware of you. And if you start digging into it and like asking questions and trying to get answers, you might stir something up, and it might be like, okay, well, maybe it may not know that you're aware of it, but then it will be like, it knows, or he knows that I'm here. Now it's time to come out and play. Now, because like right now, there's nothing like, there's no chairs moving, there's no doors opening on their own. Well, I don't have doors in my house, but I'm talking about like cabinets and stuff, you know. But now it's probably gonna be like, he knows that I'm here. I'm gonna respond to him. I'm gonna show him that I'm here, like really show him that I'm here. I'm gonna start opening doors, you know, cabinets, moving chairs, and I don't think I'm ready to open that can of worms yet. Not here, because especially my son, you know, I don't want him to get scared, and that would probably pretty freak me out. You know, that would freak me out. So they say never investigate your own house. Don't do it, especially like if you're a ghost hunter. You know, if you're a paranormal researcher, you go and do you go and investigate somebody else's house. Then you come home and you do your own house. And then you go out and you investigate somebody else's house. And when you come home, now you're having a lot of paranormal activity here in your own home. So you're doing your job and you come home and the same thing's happening to you. This is supposed to be your place of rest. This is supposed to be where you can like recharge your batteries. But you can't. Not when stuff is going on. So I don't think that like it's a good idea to do an investigation in your own home. I don't think it's a good idea for you to use a Ouija board at all. I'm against that. Don't do it, you know, especially that, because you don't know what you're opening up, what you're inviting into your house. You know, that's how this whole thing started here. I had a Ouija board here, you know that story, but I never used it. But something was attached to it, and when I gave it away, something stayed behind. I think it was that little girl. That's what I think it is. Well, my son says it's a little girl. I don't know. Like I said, I've never actually seen her, but I seen something at the corner of my eye that it looked like a kid. But yeah, I wanted to do an investigation here in my house while I was by myself, and of course I was gonna film it. But then I started reading, and they say no. They say no. They say don't do it. The best thing for you to do is not to do it, because you don't want to show whatever's here that, you know, you don't want to get it to start being really active. It's right now it's kind of active, but you don't want to like, I don't want to say provoke, because you're not provoking it, but I can't think of the word right now. But yeah, just best thing for you to do is don't investigate at your own house. Even just sitting here, like even talking about it, you know, I get a little bit nervous because I'm already kind of acknowledging that it's here, and I don't want it to hear me. I don't know why I'm whispering, because it's probably, you can hear me whispering either way. I don't know, but yeah, I'm thinking about like starting another YouTube channel. You know, thinking about just making another YouTube channel and just dedicating that channel just to the paranormal, just to that side, because I wanted to keep this channel just for like disc golf, just for video games and miniature painting pretty soon, hopefully, and you know, cooking, stuff like that, you know, fun things. I wanted to leave like the dark stuff and talk about the dark stuff, but leave that like on another channel. So we'll see. I still want to do it. I just haven't got around to doing it yet, because that's a whole other animal, making another channel. It's just like starting over again. And then that you know, I'm like getting rid of this channel, just started a whole other channel. I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be a lot of work. And when will I post on that channel? Because, you know, I don't really go ghost hunting. I don't go out exploring like cemeteries, but maybe I should. Anyways, there is about a week and a half left for Christmas. I got my son's room repainted. That's all done. All I got to do now is work on the trim. The little touch-ups on the trim, but for the most part, his room is completely finished. And now I got to start figuring out what I'm going to do in here for this coming up 2021 game room tour. You know, like I said, I want to make it a little bit different. I don't know what yet I'm going to do in here to change it up a little bit. I still need to figure that out. It's going to be a lot of work. Well, just depending what I do, I guess. I don't know if it's going to be a lot of work, but just depending what I do. I want to try to make it a little bit different, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.